So my name is Peter Poole. I'm a science, maths and also rugby league teacher at Ipswich State High School. At Ipswich State High School, we keep most of the boys in the Rugby League Academy together for the core of their subjects, such as English, maths and science. Across the board, the boys have improved dramatically across academic and also behaviour issues, as well as their commitment to the program. Previously, with having all the boys together for the core subjects, they were not as engaged, their attendance dropped down. Since then, attendance has increased dramatically and the results have skyrocketed.
Examples of foods that are high in carbohydrates. Who can think of foods that are high in carbohydrates?
We have boys graduating from our program with minimal behaviour issues recorded and pass marks across the subjects. For some of these boys, finishing school wouldn't have been previously an option, let alone passing with flying colours. I think the main difference with the boys passing in senior is the fact that the teachers are able to keep on top of them all the time. Okay, so we're able to keep them committed to the program, keep them committed to their schooling, and make sure that they buy into the program, because without that, this rugby league program wouldn't exist. We also try to keep rugby league staff teaching these subjects. This has increased engagement with content and teacher and has led to increases in attendance, results, and a massive reduction in behaviour issues. One of the benefits of having rugby league staff teaching the subjects is that we know when the boys have had an early morning or a really late night with games or training. We know when the periods of high performance are, so we can back off our schoolwork at those times and then make that up when they're not playing games or the training load decreases. We also encourage boys to become involved in certificate courses outside the Rugby League Academy, such as building, construction, fitness and even hairdressing. We've had students leave with certificates in each of these courses, which enables them to walk straight into employment from school. Our goal as teachers within the Rugby League Academy is to create better men who are able to succeed in life outside of school.
Not going to be putting sandwiches, nice and easy, nice and cheap options.
I've got, it's our 100-point checklist. Now, your goal with the 100-point checklist is obviously energy.
Okay, so they're the first fuel source that the body uses.
Yeah, so our senior footballers have the option to go on a streamed pathway where they do a lot of their subjects together. So obviously we have footballers that are on different pathways, some that are on ATAR pathways, some that are following different trades and certificates and all that sort of stuff. But for their core subjects, they do a lot of their subjects together. So we've created separate learning environments for them in the school, where they sort of have their own learning hub that they can go back to and that they can feel like is their space, and we really make them own that space and understand that when they go there, like, they're there to do educational work. The teachers are really good at pushing that, so they'll do their maths together, their English together, they do a science subject together, as well as a couple of like sports and rec based certificates. They do a set 3 in sports and recreation, and that's just really adding to the culture of the place. So understanding that you have to be a well-rounded person when it comes to being a footballer, so having that allows us to get all those boys in one place, get them working on the same thing, and really, I suppose, having them buy into the culture of it's not just about football, but it's also about what you do as a human being and what you do educationally. Yeah, so the other major benefit of that is it's staffed by all of our football staff. So the staff that are teaching on that line are also guys that are involved in the elite program. So like I said, we have mass qualified teachers that are working on the program, English teachers, science teachers. So the teachers they've got are also the guys that they're working with day in, day out on their coaching. So it allows them to build a really great rapport with those students, and it allows us to get great educational results for those students. So quite often we see some really great improvements between what they were doing across their junior grades, and then as they mature through our senior program, we see some really great academic improvements, and it's mainly down to the fact that the students engage really well with their teaching staff, because obviously it's a massive benefit to have that extra time spent with them and to build that rapport. And like I say, we see great outcomes from it. Because those staff are always with those boys, it allows them times to sometimes divert into other things that help them, grow as young men or grow as footballers. So, and some of it's built in, so like in the science subject, for example, has a lot of nutritional based stuff built into it, so we can divert and talk a lot about, nutrition, how to prepare your body properly. And
examples of foods, okay, that are high in carbohydrates. Who can think of foods that are high in carbohydrates? Bread. Okay, bread. Probably the easiest source of carbohydrates for you guys to get. Okay, toast of a morning, sandwiches, nice and easy, nice and cheap options. Okay, as long as you've got something substantial.
If that descends into a conversation talking about, sleep and rehab and preparing yourself that way, well, there's benefits for the boys there as well. So it really creates an environment where I suppose, we can at times deviate a little bit for other educational, moments, things that we can teach them that can help just add value to them as young men. Along with, creating some unique learning opportunities, it's inspired a few, I suppose, unique ideas. So one thing, one of our English teachers and one of our football coaches, Shane Harris, has done is obviously this generation of teenager is very connected with the online world and not so much with the written word. So as part of his his English classes and any other classes he teaches in that football learning hub, he's actually gone and physically built a library in the corner of the room. So got himself a couple of bookshelves, started to get a collection of books. Obviously, there's a lot of rugby league, autobiographies and things like that in there because, it might be something that the boys can engage with, but there's actually a collection now of things across all walks of life, and he sort of has allocated reading times in lessons where they might take 10 minutes out just to read, and that's really just encouraging the guys to I suppose engage with written word, which is not something that this generation of kids is particularly good at doing. So it allows unique opportunities like that to develop a new skill set. The great benefit of an elite program like this running in a high school is it's still student centered, so they're student athletes or they're student footballers, but the student always comes first, and that's really that's really the focus for us. In the same way that all the staff that work on the program are all teachers first and rugby league coaches, or strength and conditioning coaches, or have their skill set, but they're all teachers first. So they've all got a passion and got into the job because they wanted to work and teach with young men. So student comes first, athlete comes second, and that's how we build success.